Again from South Nashville, American Muslim Advisory Council member Sabina Muhuddin. Sabina?
In 2020, as a part of Mayor Cooper's Police Policy Commission, AMAC, American Muslim Advisory Council, recommended the implementation of cultural competency training for officers as a means to foster better relationships with the diverse communities they serve. Better relationships lead to safer communities. What steps do you plan to ensure cultural competency training for existing police officers and cadets, and how do you propose to fund this initiative as a priority, given that funding for police has increased?
Thank you, Ms. Muhuddin. Ms. Rowley.
Yeah, thank you for that question, and I have been really impressed by the work of Dr. Anita Harrington, who leads the outreach for the department with different faith communities. I've been with her at the Social Justice Seder, I've been with her at the Naraz ceremony with the Kurdish, and all around the city. So I think that we're starting, like you said, to make some initial steps. In terms of how do we fund a priority of making sure that our police force is culturally competent, I would like to believe in a $3 billion budget, we can find what I think amounts to about $500,000 to fund that as part of the ongoing police training and then the 3- and 5-year reviews. So I believe it's possible, and I believe that we actually have individuals in the department who I've seen out being committed to just that.
Thank you, Ms. Rowley. Ms. Wilhoit.
Of course we can find the funding. It's right there. It's all about the priorities and where you place it. I think it's a wonderful program that you talk about. I have to be honest with you, I wasn't quite familiar with the program, but it's something that's needed and necessary to teach sensitivity and to keep not only the community safe, but also to keep the officers safe, not put them in a bad position if they don't understand a culture. That same type of training also should be provided for when you are pulling over an African-American male who could have just gone through the light and not done anything wrong, but he loses his life for whatever reason. I have 2 sons. Sensitivity is important. And I worry every day when they're out hanging with their friends or traveling to college, as my son is here today from FAMU. Sorry about that, Dr. Glover. I worked on it.
Thank you, Ms. Wilhoit. Ms.
Thank
Brooks. Ms. Brooks.
So we have a high Kurdish population, Bhutanese, Hindu, Egyptian, Ethiopian community. And the best strategy that I can put forth in working with Chief Drake and his department is to recruit those persons within those communities to be police officers themselves, to work with the existing police officers so that they can learn each other's communities, their walk, their talk. But the main thing is we have to understand each other, and if we don't understand each other in our cultures and dive into those cultures with leadership, as I would always say, leadership starts from the top. Leadership going into the communities and recruiting people in the communities. How many Bhutanese, how many Hindu, how many Ethiopian, how many Latino police officers do you see?
Thank you, Ms. Brooks.
So thank you for the question.
Mr. Gingrich.
Cultural and sensitivity training and diversity training, inclusivity training, these are fundamental building blocks of any type of DEI type of effort. It shouldn't just be limited to our police force. It should apply to everyone who works at Metro, everyone in MNPS. It's all part about making us an inclusive community where we embrace and value the diversity that exists in our city. This is so essential, and in my experience, this is not a one and done. So it may cost $500,000 to do round 1, but this is going to require an ongoing commitment and an ongoing investment, and that is how not only are we going to make ourselves better servants of the people that we are responsible for, but we will also make ourselves an organization of Metro that serves everybody better, that does a better job of growing people within our organization in that diverse community.
Thank you, Mr. Gingrich. Mr. Wilshire.
I think having a culturally sensitive public safety team is vitally important. Let me commend the work that Chief Drake is doing leading the police department, that Chief Swan is doing leading our fire department. I think the public servants who on a daily basis throw themselves into uncertain circumstances with limited information are incredibly brave. Now, there is always room for improvement, and I think making reasonable investments in sensitivity training is appropriate. This is, again, something where I have some experience. When I was at MDHA, we signed a memorandum with the police department to help get the police out of police cars and walking amongst the community. We saw an immediate drop in crime. We saw the community be safer, and most importantly, feel safer to the folks who lived there as they built relationships with the officers who were there to help protect them and make their community safer. So that kind of community engagement and crime reduction is vital to improving safety in our city.
Mr. Wiltshire. Ms. Hurt.
Unfortunately, the culture has changed, but the politics have not. We have to make it a priority and be intentional about it. That's why I passed legislation for there to be sensitivity training with the police department, making sure that they dealt with the implicit biases that we know that they have. As mayor, what I will do is ensure that there is accountability with the police. That's one of the things that I did as chair of the Minority Caucus. We created a New Americans office in the mayor's office in order to ensure that there is some communication and engagement from that community. We will ensure that that continues and that we are going to make sure that there are documents that can be translated. And there's total engagement with that community and all of our diverse communities and our police department and the mayor's office.
Thank you, Ms. Hurt. Mr. O'Connell.
Yeah, this is again a critical question about the journey we've been on as a city and the lessons we've learned. And one thing we learned a few years ago is that perhaps a lack of training or even an understanding of what we were doing led to a critical report that we reviewed in council with the Metro Nashville Police Department. That was driving while black in Nashville. And it turns out that our traffic stop policy was resulting in people getting pulled over basically for being in communities of color, not because of correlations with any kind of crime. This was reinforced local data by the Policing Policy Institute. And it definitely shows that there's room for improvement. The good news is that Chief Drake has always been willing to be collaborative. I've worked with him since he was commander at Central Precinct, and I think one of the best things we can do is stop the process of having one-time good ideas where that Policing Policy Commission needs to continue. We've already lost our ability to have civilian oversight thanks to our peers at the state, and we need to make sure we continue to involve civilians in transparency processes directly with police.
Thank you, Mr. O'Connell. Excuse me. Ms. Johnson.
Has anyone heard of the COB board, the Community Oversight Board? Because they do this work. At the last meeting I was at, they showed a graph, and the graph basically showed who is getting the most police force, and it was black teens across the board. And so they are recommending to the police force changes that need to happen. And so this is something that's already going on. This is why it's so important that we don't lose our COB board. This is why it's so important that we call Governor Lee and say veto the bill so it doesn't disband this board that's doing amazing work. And so we just keep supporting them in that work. And now we as city leaders see this data and we say, hey, this is your goal, to lower those numbers in the next 6 months, however you need to do it. And we're going to come back in 6 months and see if those numbers have been lowered.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Mr. Yarborough.
Cultural competence isn't just a feel-good project that we'd like to have. It's mission critical to achieving public safety, pure and simple. We know if you're going to do evidence-based policing that when you actually build relationships, get police officers out of cars, talking to people, and build community that way, build trust that way, that you actually see significant impact on crime, especially those more serious crimes. We also know that if you're going to start clearing more of the serious investigations that you have, that you actually have to be able to be trusted in the community where you're trying to do that work. This is mission critical, not just really to the police force, but across metro government. We live in a diverse city. I've represented the most diverse district in the state of Tennessee for the last decade, and part of the job of serving people is understanding and meeting them where they live.
Thank you, Mr. Yarborough. Ms. Campbell.
At a time when hate crimes are up and everything is so divided, this is such an important question, and it's absolutely crucial that we model anti-racism and that we don't just talk about these issues, but we actually employ projects and systems within our municipal government that require us to address the xenophobia, the racism, the hate that we're seeing amped up right now so that we can normalize our neighbors. This is their city. This is all of our city. Overton High School in my district is the most diverse high school in the city, and something like 60 languages are spoken there. And a lot of those people don't feel connected to our city because of the hate crimes and because of the way they are treated. So absolutely, just like all of my colleagues here, I would definitely support that program.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell.